Welcome to Citizen Concerned, where we remind you to beware of the Comrades. I'm Katlego and would appreciate it if you subscribed to our YouTube channel, liked and shared this video with other citizens. Dear citizens, I have an important question to ask you. Let's say that you were the leader of a small party in the Johannesburg City Council. The ANC and the DA both need your support. If you support the DA by voting for them in the City Council, the DA is the one that takes a position to be the mayor in Johannesburg. If you support the ANC takes the mayor's position. Would you choose the one that is the better at governing? Would you choose the one that has been performing well in other municipalities? Would you support the party that has been known to run municipalities better than any other party in South Africa? Or would you choose the opposite? I know what I would do. I would vote for the one party that is more trustworthy, the party that has done well in other metros. That is the party I would choose. I will simply vote for the party that I believe will change the lives of our people for the better. Other parties would rather choose based on something else. Other parties would rather negotiate and make some demands that I find sickening. In Johannesburg, Patriotic, who was the DA mayor, was removed from being a mayor after ATM brought a motion of no confidence against him. In order to win against the ANC side, the DA needed the support of the Patriotic Alliance. What do you think happened? Do you think the Patriotic Alliance chose based on who is a better political party to run the municipality? No. The Patriotic Alliance voted based on another metric. They chose to vote based on selfish interests, positions, power. They simply voted based on how many MMC positions they stood to get. In order to get the DA mayor Patriotic in power, they demanded MMC positions from the Democratic Alliance. When the DA failed to provide those MMC positions, the Patriotic Alliance chose to work with the ANC, EFF, and Al Jamal. Imagine that. These are the kinds of parties we have in South Africa. We have parties that are simply there for positions and power instead of people. They don't care about who is the right guy for the job. They don't care about which parties are more trustworthy. These are people who will vote with parties like the EFF, ANC, and other communists as long as they get positions. I actually didn't know that the Patriotic Alliance is like that. But as I continue to read, I'm getting more awakened and more informed. This is exactly the same mindset that Action SA has as well. They did something foolish to put the ANC back in Tshwane. They've decided to put their vote and trust into the hands of the ANC. For what? For positions. There are these small parties who are supposed to help the country get to a better place, but they are mostly for self-interests, fighting for positions and voting based on who will give us what. There are these small parties who are supposed to help the country get to a better place, but they are mostly for self-interests, fighting for positions and voting based on who will get us what instead of who will do what is best for the people. I'm immediately reminded of the time that I made a video criticizing Gayton McKenzie for saying that he was in politics for power. When I criticized this about him, some people started moaning and complaining, but when I found out about this particular issue about the Patriotic Alliance, I realized that I was right. Politicians that are in love with power are more dangerous than politicians that are in love with their people. Politicians that want to seek improvements for their people are the types of politicians we can hope for. The Patriotic Alliance managed to get rid of Patriotic while working with the ANC, EFF, and Al Jamal. They managed to then be given MMC positions. Right now, the ANC is in charge because of the Patriotic Alliance, Action SA, Al Jamal, and the EFF. Guys, these are parties that love positions more than the people of the city. I mean, just look at the people they have allowed to run Johannesburg because of their support.
Another note, I want you to wear a different hat now as a leader of your party, Al-Jamaa.
No, I'm not wearing any different hats. I'm only coming here as Deputy Minister.
Yeah, but I need to
don't
ask
let
you.
me wear different hats.
But
no,
I want,
you can ask me in another program.
But I want to ask you.
Another program.
But I have you on air now. I want to ask you about Kabelo Gwamanda.
No. You mustn't do ambush interviewing.
I'm not ambushing. I'm not ambushing.
About 100 days.
Deputy Minister.
Talk to me. When you want to speak to me as president, you contact my office and we'll have an interview. I'm speaking now as the Deputy Minister of Social Development.
What is Al-Jamaa? That's a small party which has the same ideologies as parties like the communist EFF. They allowed Kabelo Gwamanda to become the mayor. Look at him now. What happened even after he was removed from being a mayor? He's actually an MMC right now. If you don't know, an MMC is like a little minister in the city or municipality. It stands for Members of the Mayoral Committee. So basically, Patriotic Alliance have allowed for a criminal to become the head of Johannesburg. They have allowed the corrupt ANC to take back control of Johannesburg. Some people ask the question, why are smaller parties not allowed to work with the ANC locally when the DA can work with them nationally? It is a matter of the lesser of the two evils. We support the DA working with the ANC because what is the alternative? The ANC could work with the EFF and the MK party. Since we know that the EFF and the MK party are worse versions of the ANC, we know very well that the country could actually get worse if those two parties are allowed to take charge of the country. The DA working with the ANC is not the best solution, but it is better than the ANC working with the EFF and the MK party. The reason why that is acceptable is because the DA cannot work with the other smaller like-minded parties since they cannot reach the 51% they need in order to take charge. Hence, they are forced to work with the ANC in order to keep the EFF and the MK party out of power. We have dumb or evil people who are still refusing to understand that simple thing. For parties like Action SA and Patriotic Alliance, the lesser of the evils on the table is them working with each other or working with the parties that were in the multi-party charter. We don't need the tiny parties working with the ANC, the EFF, or the MK party because those are the worst parties in the country. They have proven it time and time again. While I like some of the work that Gayton McKenzie has done so far, it is not enough to convince me that he can be trusted. He still belongs in the box of parties that we should not vote for. What has changed now? Well, the only thing that has changed is that Action SA has now joined that group. Parties that are all about power and positions and their personal feelings above the citizens that put them in government in the first place. In the end, the Patriotic Alliance did get their MMC positions as rewards for working to vote alongside the ANC. Through their vote, we got the likes of Kabelo Gwamanda, who we are hearing has been arrested for crimes. He allegedly stole from citizens and was later allowed to lead as a mayor of Johannesburg, the city of gold. The person who stole from you as a citizen is a person who Patriotic Alliance elected to be your mayor. Unfortunately, Kabelo Gwamanda is not the only person in power who previously engaged in dodgy activities. Some of those types of people were voted into power by citizens of South Africa themselves. Many South Africans are careless and foolish when it comes to voting. I know it hurts, but here in South Africa, we have too many stupid people being allowed to vote. It is better to be ignorant and make a mistake in choosing someone who you didn't know was dirty. But here in South Africa, we have people who will support a known criminal, a known fraudster, a known thief as long as it is not a white person or as long as I'm voting for a black person. Facts, we have stupid voters in South Africa. They elect people who are simply there for power and self-empowerment, and some even say, yeah, it's fine, as long as that power and empowerment doesn't go to a white person. Some of these anti-white voters do not even have a shred of evidence of a white party or politician doing to them what the black parties have done to them. Yeah, no? Take a listen to this message. Hopefully it will open your eyes and mind to these race hustlers you are benefiting at your own expense.
Is Jesse Jackson good for African Americans or not?
He's not. Good for himself.
Good for himself.
And that's true of most ethnic leaders in most groups, in most countries, in most periods of history. That what will serve his interest is to keep people paranoid, dependent upon him, dependent upon government. What will serve their interest is typically just the opposite.
So you're saying that the leaders, whatever group, leader, wants the people to be poor and dependent on them as opposed to dependent on themselves?
Oh, absolutely. The people who are playing the race card at every turn, because the people who are hurt most by that are the blacks themselves.
Thomas Sowell does not live the black lifestyle. Therefore, he is not black. That is a common criticism made of Sowell in the black community. But it begs the question, what is the black lifestyle? One of my favorite quotes from The Godfather is when a mobster says, "This is the life we have chosen." A lifestyle is a choice. Whether it's the fast-paced urban city life of climbing the corporate ladder, or more simple rural life in the country, lifestyle is a choice. Thomas Sowell chose to go to Howard at night while working a full-time job during the day, despite not having a high school diploma. He chose to apply to Harvard in the 50s as a black man in his mid-20s. He chose not to let the fact that he was an orphan from Harlem, raised in poverty, affect any of his goals. Thomas Sowell chose his life. Go choose yours.
Don't allow yourself to be controlled by or confined to race. Look beyond color to who and what will benefit you, your family, and nation. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please join our channel membership and donate to our accounts in the description box below. I'm Katlego. This is Citizen Concerned. And until next time, beware of the comrades.